Welcome back, everybody. A lot of different things have happened over the last 48 hours, but I just wanted to make this quick video before I release the larger video as far as my current situation with the electrical system. I went back real quick to my standard 20 amp outlets, aftermarket outlets, and I removed the 30 amp outlets. And so far, the system is sounding cold, obviously because I'm using outlets that have been disconnected for more than a week or so. And so there is going to be some gradual changes and shifting in tonality over the next few days that will occur. But I wanted to give you guys an update as far as what I have been doing. I know there's been a lot of conversation and narrative about me having issues with the electrical system, and I've had over 50 emails as far with advice, and I want to thank you guys for being so responsive to my questions on YouTube, on my channel to be specific. So thank you for those. Thank you to those of you who have been responding and giving me advice as far as what to look for and what to check. But I have a lot of interesting information to give you, a lot of content that I shot with my my guy, my electrician here. And so you guys will get to see that on a future video. Right now, I'm just trying to enjoy the system a little bit, kind of understand what happened, what is happening, how it's shifting. So I wanted to throw this video together to just give you those updates. But yeah, in short, I just feel like the 30 amp Home Depot outlets are just too inferior for the level that these speakers and amplification, or maybe the entire system, deserves. I just don't think that this is the type of connectors that the system needs, to see if that makes sense. But that said, I'm happy to report that there was absolutely nothing off with the system as far as the outlets. They were done properly. I talked to Boulder. Boulder was awesome with me, and everything is working good. It's just now everything is cold because I just put in outlets that I didn't have in the system, and they were disconnected, as you know. So what I will be doing though, oh, your guys are gonna have fun with this one, guys. Since I have the two outlets removed, I decided to insert a Shunyata outlet and a Furatech outlet, one on each side. And what I'm gonna do will make a lot of you guys have a reality check as far as the importance of a quality outlet. How important is a quality outlet in your system? If you are not a believer, if you don't believe in outlets, stay tuned. You guys are gonna find these next videos quite telling about what happens when you have a quality outlet inserted in the system. It's even, I knew outlets made a difference. Of course I did. But I guess once you get used to something, you kind of don't appreciate it anymore because you're used to it. But let me tell you, going back to the 30 amp outlets gave me a massive reality check. It told me the story about my system. It told me that there are levels to this madness that we do. And if you're out there watching me and following the ultra high end, which I am very proud to represent, the ultra high end audio, and you want your system to perform to a superior level, you cannot overlook the importance of quality outlets. You just simply can't. And let's not even get started with the conversation about the power. That's a whole different topic that I will be talking about in the future. That is just as important with your system. So if you are right now watching me and you have your system in the living room and you're using outlets that are being shared with your television and being shared with your recliners, motorized recliners, with your lamps, and you're using the same circuit and regular outlets that are 10 years old, folks, you have no idea the damage you are doing to your system by doing that. You have no idea how much money you are putting into your system, and you're skimping on what I think is one of the most crucial aspects of a well-designed system, a real audiophile system. So I urge you, please look into that. look into replacing your outlets, look into getting quality cabling. I was gonna go all out and even replace the wires that run down my wall with perhaps an aftermarket 10 gauge wire. And maybe I do that. Maybe I decide to go all out and do that at some point and feed it even better power by using a quality 10 gauge wire instead of the standard Home Depot wire. But I'm not there yet mentally, and I've already accepted that that will make a profound difference with my system. Maybe in the future I get bored and I just call the electrician and tell him to come out and get this cable out from my walls and insert a new cable. And yes, I am aware it will make a massive difference. You know, the conversation with the Boulder 3060 and the 3050, as I mentioned to you, I live with these amplifiers day in, day out. I go to sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. I wake up at 7 a.m. Before I start my day, and I say good morning to them every day, and they're able to tell me the story. They're just so different. The 3050s and the 3060s are so different. The 3060 to me had a little more. I think that the 3060 actually was the better amplifier with the older outlets, the 30 amp, well, not the older, the new Home Depot outlets. I think that the 3060 didn't have any issue. I didn't have any complaints with it, with those outlets. But the 3050 wasn't having it. The 3050 was more like, it's just tenfold what they tell you. They highlight. Instead of using a pencil to highlight an important sentence in a particular paragraph, the 3050 uses a highlighter. The 3060 uses a pencil or a pen to highlight certain things. And that's the difference between both amplifiers. So the 3050 became warmer as opposed to the 3060, which, in my opinion, got warmer, but not as warm as the 3050s when I introduced the new outlets, when I put the 30 amp outlets from Home Depot. So that goes to show you that every amplifier and every preamplifier or any component in your system may interact differently with what you do. This leads me to my next point. My next point being, if you buy outlets, right, that are bright sounding, let's just call them bright, maybe ultra detail. Now think about how that's going to affect the rest of your setup. Maybe you bought forward sounding cables, ultra detail cables, but if you put an outlet that's ultra detail, you're gonna have way too much detail. It's gonna completely overwhelm your hearing. On the other side, if you put a warmer outlet, then you might make the system sound a little too veiled, too dark sounding, maybe not as good as you want it to be. So you have to remember that it all starts from the panel outside. But we're going to talk about from inside the room. It really all starts from your outlet. That outlet will dictate how the system will sound. If it's going to have a detail, or it's going to sound more veiled, or it's going to sound abrasive, or not as refined. It all starts there. This is why some folks out there, some of you guys, use power conditioning, including myself, with the Strom tank. Which, by the way, I need to remind you, the Strom tank was never utilized in this exercise. The Strom tank cannot be used with my 3050 monos. Okay, so this video is simply an update to let you know that I have a future video coming up where I detail things that happen and also give you footage with my electrician, and you guys are going to be able to see everything firsthand, and hopefully you find this video quite helpful, because it has helped me tremendously to learn more about power. Although I am not an expert by any means, I can tell you that I feel a lot smarter when it comes to power, when it comes to phases, when it comes to what is typically talked about, when it comes to the circuit breakers and all of those things. So I feel a lot more qualified now, although I am not an electrician. I will say that I am not, but I understand better because my system is so revealing, that my system is telling me this is what's happening and this is what you're doing. So stay tuned for the future video, which will outline several things, several challenges that I have been through over the last 7 days. That's all I got for today. And remember, the turntable will get installed tomorrow, which is Saturday. I hope to have some footage for you guys with regards to this turntable. And do not forget, please, of course, to subscribe and follow me. More to come. Peace.